on that slider. It's got frisbee action, tons of depth on the changeup. Lefties hit 167 off Causey. Righties hit .080. That is not a typo.
He was so good. 7 innings against Bowling Green this time last week. Just 1 hit and a season best 9 strikeouts. And he gets us rolling to start this series. Strike 1 right off the bat with Cameron G. Aloy, the freshman, will lead off this Illini batting order.
Yeah, Chialoy's been great at the top of the lineup. He has reached base safely in 11 consecutive games for this offense.
This Illinois team 5-6 coming off likely their most complete weekend. 2-1 down at the first pitch invite in Greenville. Had a pair of good wins. A.J. Causey will start out with a big strikeout. 9 of them last week, already on the board.
Yeah, and he's a really tough matchup for both sides of the plate, lefties and righty. It's a weird arm action. You see an upright body with a sidearm action. He has tons of run, and he can pitch to both sides of the plate.
Cal Hasia, the shortstop, will stand in. Senior Illinois native, second in team average to start the season. He had a good weekend last week. 6 hits in Greenville. Really improved his offensive game. Puts a good right on one out deep left field. That's backing up towards the wall. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Hasia easily going to cruise to second. That's a 1-out double.
Yeah, Hasia came into the game hitting .239 against righties. That fastball runs in, he pulls it down the line. Andy, the way the wind blows out here, anything in that left field corner can get a little bit crazy. Good start for them as they get to the middle part of their order.
Again, Causey just allowed 1 total hit through 7 innings against Bowling Green Falcons last Friday, and it was a home run in the first inning. Early tests with the runner in scoring position here in the top of the first. Camden Janik gets a start at catcher. Junior off to a good start. Big swing on the off speed. Causey had him out in front. Transfer get for Tennessee out of Jacksonville State. Causey, 14 starts last season. 89 strikeouts in 76 innings. Goes with the slider again. That's fouled off. Causey's been a major answer for Tennessee in this Friday spot the last 2 weeks. No A.J. Russell. Tennessee team that still really hasn't found that third starter yet. Could be the answer once Russell gets back. Might just keep this Friday night roll.
Yeah, may end up being a blessing and surprise for the Tennessee staff right now. You got Causey, who's been throwing really well. You give Russell that chance to kind of move into that Sunday spot, kind of fill out that weekend rotation.
Counts 1-2 to Janik. Roped out to center. Inslee on the move. The wind's pushing it, and it drops in. Wickedly flew through the air. Rounding third is Hasia, and he's going to score. Early lead here for the Illini.
Yeah, Janik's been really good this year for this offense. Like I said, Causey's tough on righties, gets a fastball that's running in under his hands. He does a good job staying through it, muscles it through an intense wind, and past the diving Hunter Inslee.
The wind typically blows from right to left here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium, but it has shifted up on us. It's going left to right, it's going in, it's whipping all over the place so far. You see the flags there. And that ball was in the air on that double from Janik. It was even windier than it is here. Quagliano, his first AB. Over to Curley at shortstop. He elects to go to third. Tag place from Amick. Huge out number 2.
Yeah, Really heads up play here from your freshman shortstop. Janik tries to advances. You always want to cut down the runner and score in position. Really good play for Tennessee.
That is just a freshman over there at the shortstop position. He has had quite the week. 3 home run effort in the midweek win over Kansas State. First freshman to ever do that, had 9 RBIs, but he's got defensive prowess as well. That's a smart play. Two outs and 1 on now for Causey. Defense helping him out, getting the lead runner, but a dangerous lefty, Drake Westcott, who he's already highlighted, will try to work himself out of an 0-2 hole. '18 home runs, 47 RBIs a season ago. It'll go down swinging this time. Causey wins the battle with Westcott, finding a lineup guy with a lot of good stuff, Cody.
Yeah, fastball's going to range between 92, 96, slider between 80 to 83, changeup 83 to 86. He's been a preseason All Big Ten for 2 consecutive years in a row. What you're going to see is a 3/4 arm slot that has a lot of ride and run. Lefties hit 314, righties hit 158 off of Jack Crowder.
Certainly has gotten the swing and miss. 17 strikeouts in 14 innings, but can he keep control against one of the nation's top lineups? 33 home runs for this Tennessee squad. They've hit one every single game, and this top half has a chance to be the most dangerous in all of baseball.
Yes, very dangerous. I mean, you got a group of guys that not only hit for average, they hit for power. As you see by the stat on the board, it's going to be tough to get through here a couple times.
Tennessee averaging 11 runs a game during this current 12-game win streak. They have enjoyed being back here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. They have won 11 straight here to start the season at home. The home fans are here in droves battling some wind. I mean, it is all over the place. We're losing papers up here. iPads are falling. You can imagine what it's going to be like for these outfielders right now. Christian Moore, leadoff man for Tennessee. We talked off air, Cody. If you had thought at the beginning of the season, would Christian Moore, Blake Burke be 1 and 2 in this lineup, you might have looked at each other like you were crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Moore has the speed to be a leadoff guy, but with the type of power, you like to see him in the middle of the lineup. Same thing with Burke, too. Burke is a very good base runner, though. May not be the fastest guy out of this bunch. Gets really good dirt ball reads, and both these guys have swung the bat really good early on.
A pair of multi-hit games for Moore in the midweeks. Has a home run in 3 of his last 4 to run his season count up to 4 total. Again, it just goes to show you how much power Tennessee does have. You can afford to have this guy in the leadoff spot. It's not just a power bat as well. He's really disciplined. 50 walks a season ago. He's a tough strikeout always. Feels like even if he does strike out, it's going to be a high pitch count. Two off speed, fouled away.
Yeah, and he's very versatile, not only at the plate, but across the field. Can play multiple positions, even some outfield. I look at Christian Moore and I see first rounder.
He's certainly up there in terms of the draft board. Rips that one into left. It's going to get down and roll all the way to the wall. It's a leadoff base hit. Christian Moore's got a double to start things here in the bottom of the first.
Baseball's hit really hard. Wind, again, is going to play a factor. Typically, bad things happen when this wind blows in. We usually get rain, and we get craziness like this. It is about impossible to read a ball off the bat.
Again, with the wind going left to right, that ball might have been in the mitt on a normal day, but it got cut down. A little bit misjudged by the freshman Chia Loy. This could be some of the tougher weather he's faced up to this point. Blake Burke wasting no time. That's a rip into right, and that one's to the wall as well. His counterpart, Christian Moore, is in. RBI double. Blake Burke ties this thing.
Yeah, this 1-2 punch has been so good. Blake Burke hitting .500 with runners in scoring position. Has a team-high 8 doubles, make it 9. They keep it rolling with arguably the hottest hitter in the lineup.
Back-to-back doubles. Blake Burke leading Southeastern Conference in 2 baggers. And he sets up the table for Billy Amick. Billy Barrels, 8 home runs, leads this Tennessee crew, 19 RBIs. Reigning SEC Player of the Week. It's a show every time he steps in. How about that 1-0? Might have got a piece of the bat there. It did. Amick, that's a pop fly. Wind is going to push this thing all the way out of play. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, this ball came off his bat in fair territory, like towards between first and second. Ended up just off the dugout over the first base line.
I've seen some balls move in the air. That might be the furthest I've seen. I mean, that was a routine pop fly for the second baseman, and it went well foul. New life for Amick. Count 1-2. I know we've seen offense so far take advantage, but you get the feeling this wind should be pitcher friendly the way it's blowing, but not outfielder friendly from a defensive standpoint.
Yeah, not so far. It's pushed pretty much every ball away from the outfielders hit on both sides.
Amick sends this one into right center. It's back and it's over the wall. Billy Barrels, all he does is hit home runs. That's number 9.
Andy, this is so impressive. Get into account to be that strong, to hit the ball through that wind to get the carry. I mean, he's been on an absolute tear, and he just keeps it going for this Tennessee offense.
SEC Player of the Week, adding further to his case, he has been one of the best hitters in the conference. He's now tied with Charlie Condon for most home runs in the SEC. Here's Kavares Tears going opposite way. Wind pushing that one. Stuck in the corner and foul. It has been a tough start here for Jack Crowder against this Tennessee offense. Talked about how potent the top half. They're showing it off here in this game 1.
Yeah, one of the stats that popped up on Crowder that I wanted to highlight, but Tennessee got on him so quick it was tough to. He has struggled with runners on base in general. That batting average has jumped up to .352, and that's what's kind of got him here early on, and it looks like it's carried into this game as well.
Yeah, Crowder touched up a bit in his last start. It was on Saturday against Florida State. 4 innings, gave up 7 earned runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Tennessee so far, 3 hitters, 3 extra base hits, and 3 runs.
Yeah, Perfect Game has Jack Crowder as the number 16 best prospect in the Big Ten for this upcoming year's MLB draft. I mean, you can see him, look at the frame, the potential. He has a really good arm. He's just got himself into some jams that he's not been able to get out of.
Yeah, this feels like the real question mark for Illinois as the Friday night guy. Can he get to that spot where he can take this team deep into a Friday night? Only 4 innings last Saturday. Has now made 19 career starts, but just hasn't found that rhythm, stay consistent. Two, he gets Tears swinging. That's a big get. Cleanup hitter goes down for out number 1.
This is a really good pitch. You saw he elevated the pitch before he moved to his eyes. That's the changeup right there at 86 miles an hour. See lots of depth, lots of arm side run with that pitch.
Strikeout number 18 for Crowder this season. That's tied for the team lead. Now he gets Robin Villeneuve. You sit down one hitter over 400, you get another. Tennessee has 8 guys sitting at 340 average or better. Robin Villeneuve has been one of the breakout stars for this group. Right behind Tiers in terms of average on the team. Really good series, gets you Albany, had a pair of home runs, 5 RBIs, but kind of a bit of a slump last week, and he'll go down swinging back-to-back punch-outs for Jack Crowder.
The left fielder, number 8, Dylan Dreiling.
The stuff for Crowder is really good. It just comes down to location. This is fastball, 95 miles an hour down at the knees. Really good pitch, same thing. He just got to stay out of the middle part of the plate.
A lot of experience. This is his 4th start on the year. Most innings on this team. Certainly has that makeup to be the ace. Highly touted recruit 3 years ago to Champaign. Sometimes all it takes is maybe getting that first out to settle in. Hot start for this Tennessee offense. First AB this weekend for Dylan Dreiling, 349 average so far, 3 home runs. Looks at the 3-0. Fastball is in there for Crowder. Dreiling 4 for 9 to the home run, 6 RBIs last week against Bowling Green. Added another home run in midweeks against Kansas State. Yeah, there just doesn't feel like there's any drop-off in this Tennessee lineup. We talked about it as well, just how hard it's going to be for Tony Vitello to fill up a lineup card every game.
Yeah, there's just a lot of versatility. I mean, you got Dalton Burgo on the bench. He swung it really well. Cannon Peebles is starting to pick it up. Switch hitting catcher. I mean, there's just not enough room across the board because it's been so consistent 1 through 9.
Now batting the
Dylan Dreiling aboard. He earns the walk.
Curley.
And it gives us a chance to see Dean Curley for the first time. Made a bit of Tennessee history on Tuesday, already touched on it. 3 home run game. No freshman has ever done that for the Vols, and then he had 9 RBIs. That set a freshman record. And he almost had the home run cycle. Went grand slam, 3-run home run, 2-run home run, and then was feet away from a solo shot to end the game. Doesn't stay in the box for long, grounds out of this program.
Yeah, you see 19th season as the Illinois head coach. This is his 34th season on the staff at the University of Illinois. As well-rounded as it gets. He's a catcher by trade in his playing days. He was the pitching coach here for 10 years, turned into the associate head coach before becoming the skipper in 2006.
Yeah, he took Illinois to 4 regionals in the 2010s, including a super regional appearance in 2015. But it's Fighting Illini crew. They haven't been back in the NCAA tournament since 2019, and that's obviously not a drought that guy with Dan Hartleb's resume likes. But, you know, it's still improving on each season. This team likes to promote from within. They've got a lot of experience top to bottom in their lineup, but just looking for that week in and week out improvement that you often see with teams at the start of seasons. Two swung on and missed as A.J. Causey picks right up here in the second. Another strikeout, his 3rd.
And you don't see this a lot. Here's a righty-on-righty changeup from Causey. It's that arm slot. It looks just like his fastball. It's got a 10-mile-an-hour difference. It is really easy to swing over the top of.
One run allowed in the first from Causey. It was back-to-back doubles from Hasia and Janik. A little help from Dean Curley defensively, and then a strikeout got Kazi out of the first. And again, he's got that different arm slot that we talked about that can throw a lot of hitters off. Mormon, high chopper over to Amick at third. He makes the play. All of Tennessee's leading home run hitters are sitting in the infield right now, but they can play some defense too. Sharp toss from Amick across the diamond. 2 up, 2 down for Kazi.
Yeah, that was a play you don't see every day. Amick kind of got caught in between on the high hop there, was able to back up with it being on turf. But yeah, extremely good arms all the way from third to second across this infield.
A lot of what Amick does, the third base is required to make some extraneous plays sometimes, but it feels like Amick he gets to where he needs to be and makes smart decisions.
Yeah, I think he's been a surprise on the defensive standpoint. You knew what you were getting offensively. You saw him at first base in a DH role. He's a part of the reason why Tennessee has a .981 fielding percentage. That is good for 29th in the country right now. 6th in the SEC.
On the ground again. Amick this time, though, can't get it off the hop. And Brad will reach here with 2 outs.
Yep, ladies and gentlemen, this is what typically happens. You start bragging on somebody, and they get the dreaded in-between hop. Tough play on him. We'll see what it ends up being scored as, but we'll blame that one on Andy Brock.
Yeah, that's my fault. It's going to go down as a single, so it won't count as an error against him. Sorry, Billy. We'll talk about someone else. 9-hole hitter Brody Harding get his first AB and will have been all the way through the lineup for A.J. Kazi. Harding, a really solid second baseman, senior, another senior in this lineup for Illinois. Waves off that slider. 2-1 start. This is about as disciplined as you can get. Second leadoff hitter in the 9 spot, 24 walks to just 35 strikeouts last year. Five hits in his last 2 games as well. Chance to start something with 2 outs. Ripped over to short. That's over the head of Curley. Another base hit. Brad, a hard round around second. Runners on the corners now. Illinois threatening with 2 outs.
Yeah, it's a really good swing by Harding right here. He gets himself in hitter's count. This is what you got to do with Kazi. You got to make him get the ball up, and when he does, you got to put a good swing on it. Check and check from Harding.
8-9 guys in the lineup delivering. Flips the order back to the top. In Illinois, they've got a good offense, 253 average as a team, but 27 runs in 3 games last weekend. 27 strikeouts, just 23 walks. So every at-bat is going to be a competitive one. And Tony Vitale made that comment. He said, hey, this is likely probably the best non-conference series in terms of, close to the type of competition we're going to start seeing next week. Chialoy in a big spot. Have to battle down 0-2. Struck out back in the first. Kazi got him swinging. The slider deadly. It leaves a pair stranded. Cody coming off another Omaha appearance last year.
Yep, when you think Coach Vitale, you think recruiting. The addition of the transfer portal has been an absolute weapon for a coach that can.
Oh, look out. Cal start to the light pole. And that is a solo bomb here to start the second. Wow.
Man, there's so much action in this game, we can't even talk at the moment. Stark does such a good job getting in his legs. He's got a low 90-mile-an-hour fastball that is down. Really good defensive catcher and a guy that has a lot of pop in the bat.
Yeah, Stark, his first homer of the season. He had one that got called back 2 weeks ago. This time he'll get to keep the fur coat. That one was a no-doubter here to start the inning. Interrupted all types of talks about Tony Vitello. Here's his reaction. He liked it.
It's a guy that just loves his teammate, his team, and the group of guys he's got.
Now Inslee, a sharp line drive out to right. Took a tough play over there from Mormon, but he has it.
Yeah, on the call earlier in the week, I mean, Coach Vitello, he mentioned his catching, his group of catchers 3 or 4 times. Just the ability, I mean, they've all molded and gelled it together. They're pushing each other to be better day in and day out. I mean, he had so many good things to say about these guys.
Yeah, he made a really good point. Tennessee had a really good starting catcher in Connor Pavoloni for 2 years. When he left after 2021, there was only one guy on the roster who had any catcher experience. There's Charlie Taylor, who just wasn't ready to be an everyday SEC catcher at the time. He had to go and put Evan Russell, who had been a veteran out in left field, and convert him into a catcher. And then even last year, Cal Stark and Charlie Taylor split duties, but they had never had a full SEC season. Now you've got the experience that they bring in from last year. Add that with a guy like Cannon Peebles. It's a really fun group.
Yeah, they just have a really good matchup. I mean, all 3 guys are very good defensively. Then Peebles adds another weapon, switch-hitting catcher with a lot of pop from both sides of the plate.
2-hit evening now for Christian Moore. Leadoff man now a double and a single on his resume.
Now batting the first baseman, number 25, Blake Burke.
And Moore just looks like he's in so much control when he's up there and hitting. He has 13 hits in his last 14 games coming into this, and he's one of the – Tennessee doesn't run a lot. This is a guy you better keep your eyes on, though.
Yeah, if you like stolen bases, this is not the series for you in the slightest. Tennessee only has 8 stolen bases. That's 205th in the country. Illinois has 1. 1 stolen base, so you're not going to get a lot of it. But who knows? Never know. Burke not given much time for movement from Moore. Step on first for the force, but Moore able to beat out the tag on the other side.
Now batting the third baseman, number 11, Billy.
Yeah, that was a really good
Amick.
play by Westcott right there on the ball down the line. That looked pretty bang-bang at second base. I'm shocked that we're not going to get a review on this play. So Westcott was on the line from that. He stayed there with Burke. Does a good job getting the throwing lane. I mean, tag looks down and it looks there. The dugout did ask Haja if he was safe or out, and it did look like Haja said that he did beat the throw. So that's my only guess why we didn't see it.
Yeah. Would you have gone to second first in this situation?
Man, that's a tough call, right? Because the ball kind of pulled him towards first base. You know, you'd rather get the out. You like getting the guy in scoring position out in that situation, but I mean, it's a step and a throw. It was a good play.
You might as well get that sure out if it's right in front of you. Hard not to.
Yeah, it almost been awkward to like catch, turn around, and throw again and not step on the bag with it being right there.
Puts Moore into scoring position for Billy Amick. Already a home run and 2 RBIs. Puts another one in the air to right field. It's going to back Mormon up. It's playable and just shy of the warning track as Mormon has it to end the inning. Another run for Tennessee and from Dallas, dealing with a bit of soreness. Hasn't gone now for the last 2 Fridays, and Cody, that's why A.J. Causey, his typical counterpart on Friday nights after 2 weeks, is getting these 2 starts.
Yeah, losing starting pitching at any level is tough. Like I said, may end up being a blessing for him here in the long run if Causey establishes himself as this Friday night guy. You could slowly move Russell back into Sunday. That's a pretty solid 1-2-3 punch.
In Tennessee, 10 pitchers exit, 36 total starts gone from last year. So they were already at a spot where they were going to have to rely on some newcomers like Causey. A.J. Russell was good in his freshman campaign in limited innings. But man, he was electric there that first night. Obviously a big arm that they're going to want to utilize as soon as he is healthy.
Again, if you look at the numbers across this board, typical Frank Anderson staff. ERA sits at 2.97, 11th best in the country. WHIP at 1.14, 13th best in the country. The one total that they've dipped in a little bit, Andy, is the walks department. They've had a little bit more trouble throwing strikes than what they have in the past.
3-2. Got him. Backwards punch out as Causey rings him up for out number 1.
Yeah, you get the 3-2 frisbee slider right here from Causey. Looked a little off the plate to me, but he gets the call. Hasia does not. It's the way it goes sometimes.
There's Frank Anderson directing this activity on the mound. He has done such a great job teaming up with Tony Vitello, Josh Elander. This whole staff has stayed together in their time at Knoxville. And again, this is not the first time they've dealt with injuries to their staff. They've seen it a couple of different years as that ball is hit hard and off the glove of Dean Curley. Janik might get head for second, and he will throw in, not in time.
Now batting the third baseman, number 3, Colton Quagliano.
That's another good swing from Janik right here. Another ball that was hit really hard. Janik being the catcher. Really good runner, really good athlete. As you can see, ball bounces off of Curley. A little bit of hesitation around the bag, but a guy that runs pretty good. Made it to second pretty safely, pretty easily.
That deflection aided him in that turn from first. Infield in there to have a discussion with Causey. It's the second double for Camden Janik. That's the 5th hit from this Illinois crew. Letting the Illini not shine away from A.J. Causey here early. First pitch to Quagliano. Curley will rush forward, out number 2.
Now batting the first baseman, number 34, Greg Westcott.
Tennessee just having dealt with injuries before. I mean, you think about 2 years ago, Blade Tidwell, your surefire ace of that staff, ended up being so good exit, and then a guy like Drew Beam, who we'll see tomorrow, becomes a world-class freshman pitcher.
Yeah, and that's what Tennessee's done over the last little bit. You want to see why they've been successful since Tony Vitello's been here? They've recruited really good players, and they've gotten a situation where somebody does go down, another guy can stand up. You're seeing it right now, too, with a guy like Dean Curley at shortstop at the beginning of the season. Was not penciled in as the starter at the beginning. Antigua gets hurt. Alex Perry gets hurt. Next thing you know, he's plugged in, and, I mean, he's made the most of it.
Yeah, he has been one of the breakout stars for a Tennessee team that hopes to be among the best of a competitive SEC. Non-conference, you talk about it every weekend, non-conference, like, hey, got to get ready for SEC play, got to get ready for conference play. And this Tennessee team, they feel like they're ready, but there's still so many things that I'm sure Tony Vitello would say they're working through.
Yeah, I mean, and there's no getting ready for SEC play. I was looking at the stats the other day. Think about this. Going into this weekend, the conference as a whole, the average was 3.13 across the board. Man. And they had a sub-3 ERA. That is incredible for an entire conference. How do you prepare yourself for that?
Hey, Causey feels ready to go. SEC play next week.
In every game this year.
Yeah, it is not, Lindsey Nelson Stadium, obviously a hitter-friendly ballpark, but they were out at Globe Life Field playing at the Texas Rangers' new facility. They were hitting bombs there, too.
Yeah, I mean, they've got juice. Since the start of the 2021 season, Tennessee leads all of the NCAA in home runs hit. 414 coming into today, where you can add 2 more.
And this offense was expected to be the driving force of this team. You return a couple of key veterans like Christian Moore and Blake Burke, and then you throw in some big-time portal kids like Billy Amick and Dalton Bargo. You have a dangerous lineup that becomes difficult for an opposing pitcher every single night.
Yeah, I mean, look at Jack Crowder. I mean, guy's got really good stuff. It's just so tough because Tennessee goes lefty-righty, and there's so much pop across the board. There's just no chance to catch your breath. You know, you get in one situation, there's just no easy out because Tennessee battles through and through.
It's one of those things that it just feels like Tennessee's offense is inevitable in a lot of games. So you get the feeling as a starter, you know, something like this happens through 2 innings, you give up 4 runs, 2 home runs, you almost just have to, you know, not just weather the storm, but you got to find a way to refocus in, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it weighs on the other way. You know, Tennessee's pitching staff feeds off of this too. These guys know that the offense is going to score for them. It lets them kind of calm down in those pressure situations, which makes it equally as tough on the other team.
Rain starting to come down at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Robin Villeneuve will stand in with 1 out. Got the wind, we've got the drizzle. Elements coming out here in game 1 of this series. Always feels like Friday night's the most intense. Good fastball from Jack Crowder as he battles Villeneuve. 0 for 1 for Robin. Strikeout back in the first. Villeneuve, a newcomer for Tennessee out of Weatherford College, has made a big impact. At 3-2 inside, ball 4. Base runner for Tennessee.
Now batting the left fielder, number 8, Dylan Riley.
The second walk that Jack Crowder has administered. The other one is this guy here. Dylan Dreiling, good numbers so far in his sophomore season. 7 home runs, 20 RBIs as a freshman, was a major contributor in that Omaha run. He's asked to pinch hit in a lot of situations and delivered in a lot of those moments. Waits on that 0-1 and fouls it off.
And it's crazy to say he's got a 350 average, 3 home runs, and he's quietly been very good, you know, because all the other names have been extremely good for Tennessee. This is a guy that's on a 5-game hit streak and barrels up a lot of baseballs for this lineup.
He'll go down looking on that 0-2 fastball as Jack Crowder wins the battle that
Now
time.
batting the shortstop, number 23.
Crowder has run on his fastball. When that ball is down in the zone, it looks lower than it ends up finishing if you're a hitter, if that makes sense. It has carry. It holds its line longer than it does with some of the other guys that you're going to see.
Dean Curley in for a second time. Didn't waste much time his first at bat in the first, a ground out. But again, an incredible 3 home run, 9 RBI performance. First Tennessee Vol to do so. Hit 3 home runs in a game since Evan Russell. On his way to, if not player of the week, at least maybe freshman of the week in the conference for doing something like that. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, incredible night. Like you said, just a few feet away from hitting a 4th home run as well. During this stretch, he's hit 263, but he has 5 home runs over those last 8 games.
6 home runs and 17 RBIs in just 27 at-bats to start your college career.
Insane.
That doesn't happen very often. becomes the 6th volunteer to hit 3 home runs in a game. He joins you, Cody. You did it.
This is true. We were talking about this earlier. I think when I hit one of my 3, I'm pretty sure I hit a pterodactyl on the way out. So it's been a couple of years since then. But Dean, welcome to the crew, man. Welcome to the party.
You'll have a group text of all the Vols who've done it?
They may. I don't know. I don't think I'm cool enough. I haven't been invited yet. If there is one out there, guys, feel free to hit me up.
There we go. You know best what it takes to be in a rhythm like that. Had to have been like a beach ball for Curley. But what does go into a 3 home run night? Like, you get up there and you've already hit 2. At that point, you're just locked in?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. You know, people talk about it before. It's like that proverbial zone, right? And all that really happens in the situation, the game slows down for you. You're not as jumpy. You stay back a little bit better. You're very patient, right? You see the 3 home run game, it leads up to swinging into good pitches. When you stay back, you don't chase pitches out of the zone. You get yourself in better counts. Good things happen.
Curley will go down looking as Crowder back-to-back punch-outs here to end the 3rd. Volunteers went out in the portal and got 6 guys from other Division I schools. Billy Amick's already hit a home run. And, of course, A.J. Causey from Jacksonville State now has pitched 3 innings.
Yeah, I mean, Amick was the number 7 rated transfer by D1 Baseball. A.J. Causey was the number 72 rated transfer from that same topic. I mean, Tennessee just went in and reloaded, right? They had a couple of positions of need, and these 2 guys with the experience they've had have been an incredible fit for this group.
Such a different era, obviously, of college athletics with the transfer portal. I mean, think about a coach of Dan Hartlib, who's been around 19 seasons. The head coach has been around the Illinois program for a lot longer, now having to deal with some of this new stuff.
Yeah, and this is just the beginning. You know, I'm curious to see where this ends up going. And honestly, I think we're going to have a shakeup across the board. You know, not only baseball, but I think you're going to start seeing it in football and basketball. I think some of these coaches may start exploring some different options until some of this transfer portal stuff calms down a little bit.
Tennessee has certainly done a good job utilizing it. That was a nasty strikeout, number 7 for Causey.
Now batting the right fielder, number 43, Brian Mormon.
Tony Vitello went out and got some big names last year. Zane Didden made a big impact at the 3rd base spot. Tony Vitello, honest about it, you know, some teams, they go complete overhaul portal. Tony Vitello said, you know, we're just kind of, you know, sticking feeler out there. We get guys who are just going to fit well. We really only going to go after guys who we think can be 1st-round picks at the end of the day. Just so happens he's got 6 of them maybe on this team this year.
Yeah, and it's no secret. I mean, Tennessee's been very proactive across all sports in the portal, and it's paid dividends across the board. I mean, this is a big-time college town, and there's a lot of people that want them to do well.
Now batting the center fielder, number 6.
Causey's absolutely dialed in. That's 3 straight strikeouts.
Yeah, he's grooving. Here it is again. Here's that Frisbee action slider. Same thing down in the zone. It's just so tough to lay off of because of the change of speed.
He was asked about his 9 strikeout performance last week and said just really felt energized by the home crowd, just making his first start in a Tennessee uniform, how fun it was, and that's just a non-conference start. Imagine just the energy or an SEC start next week.
And he's getting so many swing and misses, and he throws a ton of strikes, Andy. That's what's impressive. You would look at him and look at his numbers, think he'd be put the ball in play, ground ball type of pitcher, but I mean, he goes right at people. He has such a change of pace with those 3 different pitches and gets a lot of people to swing over top of stuff.
Here's the 0-2. Brad thought about it. Wisely laid off. One-two for Causey up the middle. Moore ranging over the throw to first. Oh, he got him. What a play.
All right, fans, that's 3 up.
Yeah, Christian Moore is turning himself into an elite second baseman. You're about to see it. He's got range. He's got a 95-mile-an-hour arm to let it rip.
Volunteers, the catcher number 10, Cal Stark.
Rain continues to come down here in Knoxville. So far, so good for the home side. They lead by 3 runs, played 3.5 innings. Cal Stark leads us off 8-9-1. Due up with Jack Crowder still out on the mound for the Fighting Illini.
Ride.
Talk about there being no easy at-bats in this Tennessee lineup. Cal Stark, .231 average. He can still make you pay.
Yeah, he's dangerous. You know, I mean, that's what it comes down to. Yeah, there's some swing and miss in that bat, but Tennessee's willing to trade that off because he's got pop to go with it.
Gets to start here in this game 1 at catcher. Stark again shoots one high in the air. This one a little bit more fly to it. Wind is pushing it as Chialoy has to rush forward to make the play.
Andy, I don't know if you feel the same way.
Now batting the
Every time I
center
see a
fielder,
fly ball go up in
number
the air,
Hunter
I start to get a little nervous. And I'm not even trying to make the play. It's that windy. I know it doesn't look like it at home to you guys, but Chialoy just ran a complete circle out there trying to get under this ball.
It's not even that it's, constantly windy. It becomes deceptively windy. It'll pick up, it'll slow down, and then the rain obviously doesn't help at all either. It's becoming a really tough night to play defense. Of course, the turf field here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium makes it pretty accessible to play at a slight rain like this. Not fun for the fans as much. But hey, this group, a lot of ponchos out there. A lot of rain jackets. A lot of smiles, too.
Yeah, this Tennessee fan base has came to play this year. They have already broken the previous single season game attendance record 4 times on the year. They did it twice last weekend against Bowling Green in your calls, Andy.
Yeah, a bunch of new renovations down the left field side, especially. Every weekend they break another record. Inslee goes down swinging. Crowder really starting to get in a better groove, Cody.
Yeah, I mean, this is typical. Crowder's a power arm. You usually want to get to him early on until he gets settled, because once he gets going, he's got swing and miss stuff, and now he's starting to locate. I mean, that's a defensive swing by Inslee because it is on the black.
I think part of the thing with Crowder is that when plan A, when that got in trouble, it was hard for him to sort of locate that plan B. How are we going to adjust? But the feeling is we've seen those adjustments so far as he gets strike 1 on Christian Moore. Time was not allowed.
Yeah, weird situation right here. The motion of the pitcher's not supposed to start until Christian Moore makes eye contact with him. Moore felt like it got started beforehand. That's why you saw him step out.
And we're all of a sudden down 0-2.
Yeah, he was trying to get settled. He felt like he got rushed. Obviously, all the play clock stuff got put in last year, and this is something that we're still making adjustments on as we go.
Moore has been red hot. He is 2 for 2, a double and a single. Average now has spiked above 400 again. Base is empty. Did he go around? He did not.
Crowder attacking the outer part of the plate. Man, Christian Moore may have got awarded one.
Call down the line from Danny Cricks. New life for Christian Moore. Sends one up in the air. Here we go. See what happens. That ball moving. Foul territory. And caught. Westcott down to his knees. Wild out number 3, but it's a 1-2-3 for Jack Crowder and the Illini. You're right, Illinois 5 hits that they've put together. Defense has backed him up a little bit, but 8 strikeouts and no walks after a season high 9 strikeouts last week. Works really quick as well. This gets the 9-hole hitter Brody Harding here. 1 for 1, a single so far. pitch low, misses.
And you hate this as a hitter. You can see Causey's in a groove and he's moving. This is kind of where the pitch clock kind of goes against you because you can't slow him down. You can't change his momentum. And now he's just riding off of it. And then everything comes out of that same slot. I mean, that's an 80-mile-an-hour changeup being released at a submarine level of a 91-mile-an-hour fastball as well. I mean, it's just almost impossible to read out of the hands.
Now batting the left fielder, number 25.
9 strikeouts for A.J. Causey, matches a season high from last Friday. He now has 27 strikeouts in 19 innings with just 2 walks. Has been brilliant for Tennessee so far this year. Again, a get out of the portal from Jacksonville State. That's back-to-back misses that were real close. Now Cal Stark out to talk with A.J. Causey. No activity out in the bullpen for Tennessee. Interesting thing is, where will the pitch count be for Causey? He pitched 7 innings last week, but only threw under 80 pitches.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, he's in a rhythm. I know there's just 2 borderline pitches right here. I think they're kind of going and calming him down a little bit right now. But, I mean, he's in such a groove right now. There's no action in the bullpen. I mean, I think Tennessee's going to let it roll for a little bit.
Yeah, every game he's pitched, either out of the bullpen or starting, Tony Vitello said he hasn't hit the pitch count yet. So could be a good situation here. See how far he can go.
And all these coaches are hilarious, too. Like, you can't get a straight answer from anybody about what the pitch count is. It's like some magic number.
But again, his last start until potentially he gets to start next Friday in Tuscaloosa to open up SEC play. Just like that, Causey now has run the count full. It's been so tough here tonight. Gotten better as the start has gone along as well. 6 straight Illinois hitters have been retired. Got him again. The slider, deadly.
Yeah, and you're going to see it on this replay again. This slider. Look, every Illinois hitter, man, he is getting all these guys out front. See how the head starts to move over the front foot? They're not picking anything up. Man, they can't see the spin on these pitches.
3rd time that Cameron Chialoy has struck out in the leadoff spot. A.J. Causey now season best 10 strikeouts. "19 batters face, 10 strikeouts so far for Causey, not bad. Now Cal Heza just misses on that slider. 2-1 start. Causey has taken over this Friday night role and has been fantastic. Staff knew he would pitch big innings. Likely still at some point could still come out of the bullpen down the road, but right now settled in nicely to this new role. At 2-2, just misses on the slider. Good pitch though.
Yeah, that's the question I have, Andy, is like, what does Causey do at the next level? I mean, obviously talented enough to pitch there. Is there going to be a team that wants to see him in the starting rotation? Is he going to fit somebody in the back end of the bullpen, type of role with that action?
Tough battle with Cal Heza. That is his first walk here in this outing.
Yeah, and what you're seeing at home, too, you guys can hear the crowd's getting a little upset at some of these calls. Home plate umpire Will Posey behind the dish. All of these games get tracked by different data. I think they use TrackMan data. So these umpires get a grading or a score after every game, right? That affects if they get to call games into the postseason. A lot of these umpires' zones have really shrunk up over this. They would rather miss a pitch that is a strike in the zone, call it a ball, then they would rather call a pitch that's out of the zone. So the pitchers all across college baseball have kind of lost on that iffy, that 50-50 call that could be a strike or ball because it affects their postseason play.
Well, we've seen a few of those. And now the dangerous Camden Janik is up. Runner is moving, and Kazi throws it into center field. Inslee will relay it back in, but all the way to third is Hasia.
Yeah, heads up play here by Hasia. They got something on him. I mean, Illinois is not a team that typically runs. You saw Hasia take off as Kazi came set. Something you do just to get him to mess up his momentum a little bit right here. It was a good jump. It kind of caught Kazi off guard, and now they're 90 feet away from scoring a run.
And Janik has been the best hitter in this lineup tonight. He's 2 for 2 with the pair of doubles and an RBI chance when it feels like Kazi has been in control the last 3 innings. Illinois a chance to cut into this lead. That slider hits the zone. Janik, leader in average last season for Illinois, leads his team with 366. Big spot here in the 5th. High chopper, Christian Moore called upon, and that's routine for him. That runner stranded at third as Kazi.
Early on in the year, really good pitching staff. I think, don't quote me on this one, think that they were picking up some pitches and they jumped out of Tennessee ahead and scored early on. But that was the big thing. Missouri ended up having some injuries later down the road, had to really change, and they kind of lost it from there on out.
Yeah, this Tennessee team was only 5-10 to start SEC conference play. They were able to battle all the way back, getting them in a position to make a regional. Obviously make Hoover, that's the first step. And then, of course, the Omaha run after being a part of the Clemson Regional. 44 wins for this Tennessee team. Again, it's not where you start necessarily, it's how you finish. And that was the motto of that Tennessee team.
Yeah, it was a slow start early on. Some stuff we highlighted before. I mean, you had big names, Burns, Dolander. They had rough starts at the beginning. They had a lot of guys step up for them at the end, and they kind of got hot at the right time.
It was really one of the first times you saw this staff, Tony Vitello, have to really just adjust his lineup midway through the year. Last 2 seasons, Tennessee had a pretty consistent lineup throughout that they kind of had answers. Last year, it just felt like they were still answering some questions late in the year.
Yeah, there was a lot of swing and miss in that Tennessee offense last year, and they went out and they addressed it this offseason, and it's starting to show up here early on. Tennessee just wears on pitching staffs because they are so disciplined at the plate, and there's so much power through and through.
Clapping it up here for Billy Amick. Clearly a massive addition to this Tennessee team. Tony Vitello loves playing against other teams and then taking their players. That's what Tennessee did against Clemson last season in their own regional. That's where Chase Dolander came from, Georgia Southern. Tennessee played them in a series. Dolander became a Vol. Off speed, Amick crushes it to third, picked up from Quagliano. Do they get 2? They sure do. Big time turn for the Illini.
Yeah, it was a hard hit ball by Amick. Quagliano caught it on a bounce, went to Harding. Harding went to Westcott. Very smooth double play for the Fighting Illini.
This is a really good defensive team that Fighting Illini have. It typically is a good defensive team under Dan Hartlib. Second in the Big Team in fielding percentage. Led the Big Ten in conference play last season. They've led the Big Ten fielding percentage for the last 5 years.
Yeah, that's something that we talked to Coach Hartlub on the call earlier in the week. Same thing. I mean, said we have really good players. We put them in the best position that we can. They have a routine. They stick to it. These guys work day in and day out to get better at their craft.
That's one of those that just don't overthink it, right? You know, go back to the fundamentals, make the routine play. Tears, rocket shot, it hits Crowder. Looked like right at the shin. Hopefully he's all right. He was able to run off the mound. That was a dangerous base hit.
Yeah, that didn't look pleasant from up here. Crowder looks like he waved everybody off that it was okay. I mean, that ball was smoked by Tears.
It's going to go down as a first base hit for Kavares Tears, unconventional. Just a rocket up the middle. And Crowder's all right. He was able to tough it out.
Yeah, we just got the metrics off that, Andy. 107 miles an hour off Tears' bat.
Huh. Robin Villeneuve shoots one almost as hard as shortstop. That ends the inning, so the runner stranded for Tennessee in the fifth. Defeated right now in conference play, so that should be a very intriguing matchup right off the bat.
Yeah, you highlighted that number 4 Florida versus number 7 Texas A&M, and then you got Tennessee sitting at 8, Alabama currently sitting at 15. Big matchups out of the gate.
And it's always interesting, you get those series that hold a lot of weight, you know, immediately off the bat. You know, I know Florida's in the East and A&M's over in the West, but it's still, these are 2 top teams in the conference, and you don't get any real, chance to see another SEC team. You just go right into it.
There's just so much talent.
Amick has it out number 1 as he charged forward.
Andy, I got a crazy stat for you since we're talking about SEC baseball. We talked earlier about Tennessee and Auburn being the only SEC teams to hit a home run every game this year.
Yep.
They also share a little bit of history. Auburn and Tennessee, Todd Helton, Frank Thomas, the only 2 former SEC players in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame.
Wow.
That's a crazy stat, huh?
That is crazy. I mean, get the feeling there will be more down the road.
Coming, yeah.
It certainly is going to grow, but yep, Todd Helton elected just this past January, first volunteer into the MLB Hall of Fame. 2-time All-American here in Knoxville, National Player of the Year in '95. Well deserved.
Yeah, that's 2 of my favorite players growing up. Obviously, watched Helton play here a lot at Tennessee. Really impacted me wanting to be a Tennessee Vol at one point. Frank Thomas, the big hurt. I mean, he's literally Tony Gwynn with power. Unbelievable control of the zone. So just a staple in Chicago for a long time.
And number 3 retired out there in left field. Got his number 17 retired up in Colorado. Still leader in the clubhouse in a lot of different categories with the Rockies and with Tennessee. He's still a big part of this program as well. Close with Tony Vitello in this bunch. 3-2. Causey gets another strikeout, number 11.
You see Westcott just getting frustrated now. Same thing. He's got a heavy dose of changeups. Another one 80 miles an hour out over the plate. He's got Westcott moving forward. Another good pitch.
2 up, 2 down for A.J. Causey as he works deep into the 6th inning. Pitch 7. Last Friday night, that pitch count as high as it's been all season for him, nearing triple digits. And it's always a slow stretch, but now that you get towards this part of the season where you're getting to conference play, you're about at that point where you could throw triple digits, and Causey's there. Vitas Valanciunas drops one in. That's a base hit.
Now batting the right fielder, number 43, Ryan Mormon.
Yeah, Causey just caught a little bit too much of the plate with that slider, and Vitas gets the barrel out on it, gets a knock, little 2-out rally right here for this Fighting Illinois offense.
Yeah, Vitas aboard. One on with 2 outs. Causey at pitch 99. This is a dangerous hitter. Ryan Mormon, who hasn't been consistently healthy all season. But last season, all Big Ten, hit 12 home runs and 44 RBIs with a 300 average. What a really good slider. It's just so tough to read. .65 strikes, 102 pitches for Causey. That one almost hits Mormon. He's just been really effective. Could be his last frame. You're at 103 on the pitch count. 2-2 home. There it is. 12 strikeouts for A.J. Causey.
For Illinois, 6 no runs.
Yeah.
A little emotional seeing all the new stuff. Dylan Dreiling, that is a rocket deep center, way back and off the wall. Dylan Dreiling with a bang here to start the 6th.
Now batting the shortstop, number 23, Dean Curley.
Yeah, this swing right here from Dreiling currently adds to his 6-game hitting streak now. Andy, he does such a good job. He's a guy that I say has a flat bat. He covers a lot of pitches up and down in the zone because he is very A to B to the baseball.
Pays off there, leadoff double, runner in scoring position for Dean Curley. Curley, that's a rope to left field, and he does it again. He's got another big hit. And here comes Dreiling all the way home. The RBIs keep piling up for this guy. That's 18.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know what you do. You know, they just put so much pressure on you. Here's a slider that got hung out over the plate. And right now, I mean, if you missed a Curley, he's making everybody pay at the moment. Both of those guys, really good runners, too, on top of that. I mean, both of those balls were smoked, extended bases. This could be the end of the night for Crowder.
Yeah, Jack Crowder, 5 complete innings, steps into the 6th, and immediately gives up a pair of doubles. He gave up 3 extra base hits and 3 runs to start, but did a good job of...
On 37% of pitches put into play. Lefties hit 222, righties hit 248.
5th outing on the season for Glassy, 7 2/3 thrown, 3 strikeouts, 5 earned runs in that time. A little bit of a debate here what's going on as Cal Stark settles in. Glassy fires at his first pitch for a strike. Back-to-back doubles for Tennessee to start this 6th. Now Glassy throws in the pitch, and
all right, so what's happening? This is what's happened twice now. Glassy has came set before Stark has made eye contact with him. You're not supposed to do that as the pitcher. The hitter has to make eye contact with you before you start your motion, your action. He's just getting a little bit ahead. That's what they went out and talked about. That's why there was time called, and there's been a little bit of chirping back and forth. As you can see, Stark's not looking. He's already set. You're not supposed to do that according to the new pitch clock and everything they've put in. They try to offset the game getting sped up too much for the hitter.
that's a good 0-1 off speed as Glassy now tries to readjust. Stark 1 for 2. He had a home run back in the 2nd, solo. We'll go down swinging on that off speed. No problem for Glassy. First batter faced, first strikeout.
Now batting the center
Yeah, that was a
fielder,
couple
number
really
9,
good
Hunter.
sliders from Glassy right here. It's got some slurvy action. You can see it. It's got some depth and a little bit of late break that gets Stark to chase it out of the zone.
Pitched twice last weekend. Glassy did in Greenville. First pitch invite, pitched 2 and a third. Went head-to-head with Florida State and Michigan State and did not allow an earned run in that time. And a veteran, this is his 56th appearance in the Illinois uniform.
Yeah, and Glassy's a big guy. I mean, 6'3", 215. You can see he hides the ball really well from his frame.
Inslee trying to poke one through into right. On the run to make the play is Harding. What an effort to steal away a hit and maybe a run.
Now batting the second baseman, number 1, Christian.
Yeah, another good pitch by Glassy. It's a slider that caught Inslee off the end of the bat. Harding with a little over-the-shoulder grab. Like you said, keeps Curley at second base with 2 down now.
Harding is one of the best defenders in an Illinois bunch that is among the best in the Big Ten at defending. Only 2 errors all of last season. He is really good at second base. And now Christian Moore did not like that first call, go down 0-1. So far, Glassy has done his job. 2 outs, 2 batters face out of the pen. Curley stranded at second. Off speed, Moore over to third. Across the diamond, and that ends the inning. So 3 up, 3 down for Glassy. Tennessee adds 1 to their advantage.
273.
6th outing for Derek Schaefer. He also has 2 starts on the year. Cody, he was Tennessee's Sunday starter just this past week in the series against Bowling Green. That was, though, a Sunday in which Tennessee made it a full bullpen day, had about 8 arms pitch in that game. But he was the first to go, a fun opportunity for him.
Yeah, he was a freshman. He pitched really well in the fall. I know that the staff really liked a lot of things about him. He's in a situation where he's had a little bit of trouble throwing strikes early on here in his career. And that's going to be something that he's going to have to, control or get a part of if he wants to be a part of this weekend pitching staff for Tennessee.
Yeah, in that start on Sunday in the Bowling Green series, an inning and a third, he did allow 2 runs, walked 2 batters, and no strikeouts. Got himself into a bit of trouble. And that's been sort of the question for Tennessee is what are they going to do with that Sunday spot, but they feel pretty good about their bullpen and the amount of pieces they have in there, at least for now, to fill it out each series. And, let's worry about these first 2 days and see where the series takes us.
Yeah, there's a lot of good arms in the bullpen. It's just same thing. Which one of these groups is going to throw strikes? Obviously, it's freshmen. There's a little bit of nerves to him. As you can see, he's been a little bit of erratic and out of the zone here some.
Yeah, Tennessee, their first 2 games last week against Bowling Green, they had 20 strikeouts and 2 walks. Then you get to that Sunday game, they walked 7 batters, so just 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, like I said, uncharacteristic for Frank Anderson's staff. Something that he does not put up with very quickly. As you can see right now, you start walking a batter or 2, and there's going to be some action happening really quick in the bullpen.
Especially, first batter face, a walk doesn't quite sit well. And then Tennessee on Tuesday, their win over Kansas State. 7 walks as well, 9 strikeouts. Tony Vitello already out to the mound. And Schaefer threw 5 pitches and walked the first batter he saw. Asher Brad is at first, so Tony Vitello is going to make the call.
Yeah, like I said, it was a quick hook, a very quick hook for this staff. Wondered did she do the new.
Andrew Banky on. Pitched 2 innings against Kansas State on Tuesday. Gave up a hit and a run. 1 strikeout, did not walk a batter. And a good first pitch. That fastball's in. And he tended to put a lot of trust in Frank Anderson and what he can do with the staff. But again, Tennessee, no A.J. Russell, so that takes A.J. Causey out of the bullpen. And then you lose another arm. Chris Stamos dealing with an arm injury, trying to work him back into the mix. Not that Tennessee doesn't have good numbers. Their numbers have been good out of the bullpen. It's just, finding that right combination and obviously trying to stay healthy. That 2-1 is ripped out to left on the run. Dreiling has it. Out number 1.
Yeah, Tennessee's in a little bit of a different situation than they've been in the past, Andy. You had youth at the beginning, those Friday, Saturday, Sunday starters in the past, right? And then they had a ton of experience and depth in the back end of the bullpen. Now they flip-flopped a little bit. Your experience is a little bit more at that front end side, and they're trying to break in some of these younger guys, and you're seeing some growing pains here or there.
In a situation like Schaefer, maybe like you think about 2 weeks ago, if he wonks that first batter, you're fine. Hey, let's see if you can work out of it. But now, hey, you're a week towards SEC play. We got to start figuring this out.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to do it. I mean, that's part of it. Like these guys, they're gonna go through some struggles. You've got to get them out on the field because that's going to end up biting you in the long run in recruiting, right? There's going to be other schools attacking you like, hey, you get there as a freshman, they're not going to develop you because they're going to try to skip people for the portal. You got to start putting those guys in situations, letting them grow, let them figure out how to get out of situations.
Check down from Cal Stark. Asher Brad hold up at first. But the feeling does have to be, a guy like Benke, hey, I can earn a lot of valuable innings come SEC play.
Yeah, again, he has good stuff. He's a little bit of a slinger, He's going to be very difficult on lefties. He's got this pause that you're going to see. He's got a little low-level arm slot. He's got the ability to attack the top half of the zone. He was really wanting to get off the field right there.
Ran off the mound a bit quick there. That's just out number 2, but a big one for Andrew Benke.
Yeah, good pitch at the top part of the zone. Like you said, a little amped up, got in a situation where he made a quality pitch and was a batter a little too early.
At least he didn't make it past the first base line. Runner on the move. Stark, a bit of a hesitation, and now deposits it in center. Runner will stay put.
Yep, we talked about it earlier. Hey, Illinois doesn't run at all during the season.
There it is.
Now they're running every chance that they get. It was a really good jump by Brad right there. It was a lefty first move, right? So as soon as he picked his leg up, he was going to go. He got a good jump. No chance for Stark to make a throw.
How about this stat? Illinois now more stolen bases here tonight than their first 11 games on the year.
Yeah, and you're seeing it. I mean, it's just how do you want to play offense? And a lot of people, I mean, baseball is a little bit of a revolving door, right? Like people get away from trends and then they start to come back. They've been driven more on playing for big innings and stuff instead of piecing it together. And that's what you typically see. Teams steal bases that need to pick up a run or two here or there. They have been more offensive driven where they'd rather play for that 4 or 5, 6 run inning when possible.
Big stolen base number 2 for Illinois on the year, and it puts a runner in scoring position for Cal Hasia. 1-2 from Benke. Ripped over to Curley. A bobble and no play. Everyone safe. Runners on the corners.
Yeah, this is a fastball that got in on Hasia a little bit. Had a little bit of side spin on a slick turf. If you ask Curley, he'd tell you he felt like he should make that play. Makes things interesting right now. You got runners on first and third, 2 down. One of the hottest hitters in the lineup coming up in Cam Janik. He's hitting .345 with 2 homers over his last 8 games.
pair of doubles for him. He had a chance to bring in a run back in the 5th, grounded out. That's the only time that Tennessee was able to sit him down, but it was a tough play from Christian Moore. So even his outs have been tough. And another big spot for him. First pitch. He's going to shoot out to center. Should be routine for Hunter Ensley, and now Banky can walk to the dugout. 2 stranded for Illinois. As it's just the 3rd outing on the year for Reagan Hall. He's made a pair of starts before this, so this is his first chance out of the bullpen now. He'll get Tennessee here in the home half of the 7th. He was really good against Fordham in his first start. 6 innings, gave up just 2 hits, and had 9 strikeouts. Then Ball State pitched 2 innings in a start, gave up 3 runs, walked 3 batters. So 2 different outings, but both starts, and now makes the transition out of the bullpen.
Yeah, on the scouting report, he was penciled in as the probable for the Sunday. Obviously, that was moved to be determined. They feel like this is a situation where he can come in and get some outs for them in a relatively close ball game.
Yeah, 9 strikeouts and 8 innings thrown, so he definitely can generate that swing and miss. Blake Burke connects on this one. That is shot deep left field at the wall, and right there, Milton makes the grab. Always scary when Burke puts one up in the air like that.
Now batting the 3rd baseman, number 11, Billy Amick.
Burke now 1 for 3, and we'll turn things over to Billy Amick, who also is 1 for 3, but had a massive 2-run home run in the first. Home run count up to 9 on the season, which now, Cody, obviously there's some Friday night games going on elsewhere, but without any knowledge of any of those right now, as we're only focused on this one, but Amick is tied for 2nd in the nation in home runs with 9.
Yeah, just same thing, just being on a tear, and you really can't pitch around him. The offense around him is so good. He's going to get a lot of fastballs in good situations, and he is not shy about taking swings.
This one out to center. Doesn't look like it has enough carry as Asher Brad is there. That's a fly out. You mentioned it. Reagan Hall, fly out guy. That's back-to-back.
Now batting the right fielder, number 21, Tavares here.
2 up, 2 down, right at the heart of this order. The freshman making his first bullpen outing, trying to keep it close. Kavares Tears, he is 1 for 3 as well. That single right up the middle off Jack Crowder's leg back in the 5th. Rain has been pretty consistent for a few innings. Nothing too crazy, but enough drizzle to make an impact, right?
It's coming down pretty good right now. And what it does, and what you guys want to be aware of at home, it makes the turf really slick. When you see these guys start to slide, you've got to be really careful going into second base and so on, because you start where you normally do, you're going to end up 10 feet past the bag.
KJ right here now.
Great shot of that turf right there. That Asia is standing right at shortstop. Back a bit for Kavares Tears. Shift is on over the pull side down right field way, but Tears has shown that he has power to all sides this year.
Yeah, Illinois hasn't shifted much at all. Tears has been one of the guys, and it's kind of funny because it's a stat we talked about earlier. Tears went a good stretch of the season where he didn't have a pull side hit the entire time. It was all oppo and away as they got him shifted to a little pull side.
That is a part of Kavares Tears' game that has grown in the offseason. We'll send one the opposite way, but it's a fly ball in the air. Those have been tough tonight. But over to make the play, Quagliano, and an efficient inning for Reagan Hall. 1-2-3 to add to Tennessee's lead.
And if you look at the stat that stands out again, Illinois has 3 extra base hits. Tennessee has 6. Illinois was only 1 for 8 for a 125 average with runners in scoring position. Tennessee is 3 for 7 for a 429 average, and that's been the biggest part of this game.
Yeah, that's the thing about Tennessee's offense. Yes, they can hit home runs and they can pile up runs, but behind the scenes of a lot of those runs is just clutch hitting and competitive at-bats with runners in scoring position. You mentioned it, Cody. Illinois, that they've had steady offense, 6 base hits. Plenty of guys in scoring position. They just have left a few on the pond. Gagliano, that is a swinging bunt. Going to be a tough play for Binky. No chance. Leadoff man aboard.
Binky got Gagliano out in front on some sort of off-speed pitch right here, and Andy, I don't think he could have rolled it out there any better. I mean, ball just ends up in no man's land.
Gagliano, his first hit. He'll take it no matter what form it comes in. Leadoff single. 7th hit for Illinois. Question is, can they get this leadoff man around? Only run for Illinois came in the first. They had a brief lead in this game. It was a 1-out double and then a follow-up double. Camden Janik, the lone RBI. But obviously a lot of credit to A.J. Causey and what he was able to do. Gave up a few loud hits, but at the end, he became the one that was tough to hit back in the stretch of that start. Best ball from Binky as he faces Drake Westcott for the first time.
And you can see baseball's getting a little slick right now. If you're Illinois, you're really keyholing Binky right here. Make him throw strikes. You got to do damage on it, though, when you get your pitch.
That's a home run cut for Westcott, who leads his team with 4, Big Ten Player of the Week, but 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts so far.
Yeah, he's seen a heavy dose of off-speed from Causey. I would imagine 2-2 situation right here from Binky. Probably going to see slider, 12-6 curveball, something of that type.
Off speed, Westcott rips it into right. Back-to-back base hits to start the inning for the Fighting Illini. Time is now for him to make something happen.
Yeah, Tennessee may have went to the well one too many times on Westcott and off-speed pitches. You get a guy that's got that kind of pop, you tend to shy away from the fastball if you get a little bit of swing and miss. He's made a good adjustment, stayed back on it.
Back-to-back singles off Binky. No outs here in the 8th. Illinois within 4, down to their final 6 outs, but great start here to this top of the 8th. Now it's Vitas. Big single for him back in the 6th. Valencius 1 for 3. A guy they really like. Five RBIs last weekend in Greenville. Have to battle 0-2.
Yeah, and you talk about Greenville last weekend, Andy. This is something that we didn't touch base on that I meant to earlier. This is Illinois' first 3-game set against a single opponent this season. Everything else has been a tournament matchup style.
It'll be interesting to see how they handle it. They'll get the same opponent tomorrow for the first time all season. At 0-2, that's got him. Valencius goes down looking. Great comeback from Binky for the first out.
Yeah, this is what you want to do. Fastball at 90 miles an hour. You've thrown some off speed. You're going to attack in with the fastball to give them a different look. Vitas didn't like it. Looked like a quality pitch from Binky.
1 down, 2 on. Again, Illinois have struggled with runners in scoring position. Now 1 for 9. Hits haven't been a problem. They've matched Tennessee's 8. Now they need to start stringing them together. in RBI situations. And Ryan Moorman, he's 0 for 3.
Yeah, and with Illinois' first 3-game set against a single opponent, this is the first 3-game series between Tennessee and Illinois ever. And I know you got a couple of fun facts about the last time they've played and got together.
And the last matchup was in 1993 in Orlando, and I guess a fun February outing in Florida. But last time these two teams played in Knoxville, you got to go back to 1914. That's a long time ago.
Like, where did they keep stats at? I mean, is that like stone and chisel back then or what?
Illinois says it was a 1-1 tie back in 1914, and then Illinois got 2 wins back in 1912. So it's been a good while.
So you guys counting at home, Illinois, there was some discrepancy in this. Illinois has Tennessee. They are 3-0-1 against Tennessee in their series record, where Tennessee had it as 0-3-0. So I guess Tennessee didn't like to count that tie, or maybe something got lost back in the Stone Age.
A 1-1 tie back in 1914. Thriller. 2-2 swung on and missed. Throw down. Close, but Burt lost it anyways. But another good get from Benke. Clutch strikeout.
Yep, Tennessee right here. Benke picks up the 15th strikeout on the night for them, and this is what's kind of got them out of jams. And if you're on first base or you're on second, you better watch out with Cal Stark behind the plate. Has an absolute cannon and likes to try to throw behind runners.
Asher Brad in. First pitch. Out to left field. Rushing forward. Dreiling it again. Illinois leaves a pair stranded.
What you want out of your bullpen in general, right? Like, you want guys to play, you want some deception. You want different pitching staffs to have different arms, different actions, and Plumlee looks like he's going to match up differently from what they've shown.
Well, he's going to get 5, 6, 7 in this Tennessee lineup. Hasn't been the most favorable start for Plumlee to begin the year. 3 2/3, he's allowed 9 runs.
Leading off for the Volunteers.
Has a chance to keep things close before Illinois heads to the 9th, down to their final 3 outs. Again, the opportunities have been there for Illinois offensively, and you do have to credit the bullpen and then Jack Crowder settling in to keep this Tennessee offense a bit quieter in the back half of this game.
Yeah, and again, this has somewhat of a feel of a Major League Baseball game, right? Like, you had 2 good arms with Causey and Crowder. Tennessee, well, I mean, Illinois jumped on with 1 early, but Tennessee turned around and answered 3-1, and that's what typically happens. You get ahead on those power arms and don't let them get settled in.
Well, Tennessee put up 3 runs on their first 3 swings of the game, and you thought, uh-oh, it's going to be one of those nights. Tennessee, they've put up several double-digit victories already this season, but Illinois has sort of reined it in. Again, Tennessee has still been pretty potent. Solo shot from Cal Stark and the back-to-back doubles from Dreiling and Curling in the 6th. Again, Illinois has filled those gaps pretty well from a defensive standpoint. Villeneuve will go down looking. Great start from Plumlee out of the pen.
Now batting.
Yeah, and you can see, I think both offenses started to get a little frustrated because the zone started relatively tight early on. It looks like as the games went, the zone has expanded a little bit. Again, I think that's a pitch right there with 2 strikes. If I'm Villeneuve, I would rather that curveball be called up in the zone than I would down. But it does look like the zone has expanded a little bit. That's an adjustment that they're going to have to make.
Dylan Dreiling back in. He doubled and scored in the 6th. 1 for 2 outing for him. Again, quietly putting up good numbers. 356 average, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs. This feels like one of those guys that is going to be just extremely consistent for Tennessee this season down the stretch. And unlike some of these guys, he has been through a full season with this team and in the lineup. Rips this one, though. This is a towering shot to right. It's back at the wall, and it clears the fence. Dreiling, number 4 on the year.
Yeah, he's impressive, Andy. I mean, I even thought last year as a freshman, he was ahead of his age with his composure at the plate. You can see he got a little bit out in front. He's strong, man. The barrel stays in the zone for so long. Man, he backspins the baseball so well, as you can see right here. And, I mean, he just continues to stay hot.
Gets over that right field wall. His second extra base hit today. 4th home run of the year. Dreiling adds on to Tennessee's advantage. 3rd home run for this Tennessee offense. Again, one of the best home run hitting teams in the nation. That's now 36 total for this crew. Now back to Dean Curley. 0 for 2 to start, but then an RBI double in the 6th to make it now 10 RBIs on the week. Curley, chopper, 3rd base way. Quagliano, a good play and a good throw. That was on a 3-0 pitch.
I'd give him the green light,
Now
too.
batting the catcher, number 10, Cal Stark.
Freshman's had a great week. Go down there. 2 outs now in the 8th. Cal Stark, solo home run for him in the 2nd. He's 1 for 3. And it feels like Cal Stark could settle into that Friday night starter at catcher and then expect to see Cannon Peebles the rest of the way.
Yeah, and you want to have 2 catchers. I mean, that's just how it goes. Like, you want to keep both of the guys fresh. And, I mean, in a perfect world, you'd love to have an offensive threat with both of them. But, I mean, this is how it goes. And, I mean, Stark is very good defensively. There is some times where he does get hot and he can get going.
Stark, fly ball. Rather pop fly as it veers back in. Play made, but Dylan dropped.
Pitch is the breaking ball at 72 to 75. Righties hit 182. Lefties hit 0, Andy. 10 batters faced. No hits for left-handed hitters.
He is such a problem with lefties, and his numbers this season are really good. Last season he made 33 outings, but didn't pitch a lot of innings. He would come in for just an out or 2. Rarely pitched even 1 full complete inning, but he threw 3 on Wednesday against Southern Indiana. Did not give up a hit nor a base runner, did not walk anyone. 4 strikeouts was really good, and you saw the line there, 8 strikeouts, no walks on the year. He will throw strikes, that's a guarantee. Be tasked with maybe getting the last 3 outs, you never know. 9-1-2 due up for Illinois. They need 5 runs to keep this game alive. And it is a weekend-long series, first weekend series for Illinois. Obviously, it's one of their toughest tests yet on the road. It's a top 10 Tennessee team. So it'll be their first chance tomorrow to make any necessary adjustments. Well, that's a rip from Harding, and he's aboard to start the 9th. That's what they needed.
Yep, but with that swing right there, Andy, Harding ended the lefty perfection for Kirby Connell.
Wow.
I will wear that one.
And we both now have a strike, right?
And if this score ends up holding and Tennessee does win, a couple stats that stick out. Illinois, 2 walks to 15 strikeouts today. Tennessee, where it was 3 and 7. Obviously, I know it's a tough task. Tennessee has a good staff, but you want to regroup and find a way to put more pressure on this. Tennessee made 2 errors today. You need to force a little bit more action, especially if we get crazy weather and the squirrely wind again.
It'll be Logan Tabling tomorrow for Illinois, coming off a really good start. against Western Michigan last week. 7 strikeouts in 5 innings. He's got great stuff. 18 strikeouts in 10 innings thrown this season.
Yeah, Coach Hartlib on the call said best stuff on the staff. Guy that's been around for a long time. He has a lot of experience to go with it.
That's a rip up the middle from Connor Milton. Inslee on the run. He's got it for the first down. Tennessee will counter Logan Tabling tomorrow with Drew Beam, who was dominant last week in 6 innings. He followed what A.J. Causey did Friday night last week. 9 strikeouts, his season best.
Yeah, you're going to get 2 righties with a lot of experience tomorrow. Again, like we said, we knew we were going to get power arms early on into the week. Both teams are still trying to make that transition and what they want to do on Sunday, but Friday, Saturday should be set for both of these teams.
Calhasia, he's gotten on base 3 times. That's what Illinois likes to see here, down to it in the 9th. A double in the 1st, he walked in the 5th, and then reached on an error in the 7th. Cannell trying to shut things down. Tennessee, they've won 12 games. They've won their first 11 here at home, 11-0 at home. Good swing from Hasia, heading out to left field. A deep run, a dive from Dreiling. It's off his mitt. Rounding second, and getting to third is Harding. 2 in scoring position for Illinois.
Now batting the catcher, number 17, Camden Janik.
It was a good effort by Dreiling on his part. Same thing. Hasia just hit that ball off the end, hit it in the right spot. That Dreiling home run could end up being a big deal right now. As you can see, Illinois is 1 guy on base from that 4-run swing right now. So that 5-run cushion makes things a little bit easier if they can work their way out of this jam.
And it's Camden Janik who has 2 doubles in this game, but the last 2 plate appearances, he stood up there with another chance to drive in runs and is now 2 for 4. Again, Illinois 1 of 11 runners in scoring position. It's going to be tested again here in the 9th. That's a good pitch from Cannell. Plenty of RBI chances for Janik. He's got 8 on the year. Lone RBI back in the 1st.
There you go, Kirby. Get him right here, Kirby.
It has been 7 straight scoreless innings from A.J. Causey in bullpen. Good eye from Janik. This is the heart of the Illinois lineup. Two fouled off. Jack Crowner looking on. There's the starter. Illini have been right there all night. Can they capitalize now? Janik looking for the gap. He's found it, drops it in. He's got a second RBI. It brings in 1. That scoreless stretch is over.
Janik's looked really good tonight at the plate. Real discipline, works counts, handles the bat really well. There's a reason why he was on that preseason All-Big Ten watch list.
Tennessee's bullpen is getting loose. You're in a hurry. Illinois have added a run. It's back to 4, and you mentioned how important is that Dylan Dreiling home run. It would have been the tying run at the plate, but they still got more work to do.
Yeah, but you're at the right part of the lineup if you're Illinois right here. You got a couple of guys here stacked up in a row that could do some damage with one swing of the bat.
Now, Cal Stark forward, chance to the guy in the pen a bit more time. Tony Vitello is. It'll be Colton Quagliano, the cleanup hitter. First pitch he waves off. That's a fastball, 93 from Phillips. Quagliano 1 for 4. He singled just an inning ago to lead off the 8th. Watch his fastball number 2 go by. Strike 1. Chopper towards Amick's way at third. He'll go to first. A hopper. Burke's got it. That's the second out. A run does score as Hasia is in, and Illinois within 3 down to their final out.
Now batting the first baseman, number 34, Drake Westcott.
Yeah, that was a really good pick from Burke right there. That ball gets by him, and the game becomes very interesting.
That was a necessary play, and Blake Burke has it. That is now team best RBI number 15 for Quagliano. Did his job in terms of at least getting runner from third home, but now still work to do for Illinois. He'll be charged against Cannell. As Phillips will do battle with Drake Westcott, who started out his night with 3 straight strikeouts, but found a hit an inning ago in the 8th. It was a powerful at-bat in this lineup. Big Ten player of the week in a big spot.
Yeah, Westcott's been a guy that's been very good with 2 outs. Currently holds a .364 average on the year.
An RBI chance for him. Can score a run and bring the tying run to the plate. And now down to a final strike. 95 from Phillips on that fastball.
Yeah, I don't think Phillips was fully loose when he came into the game. When we saw the clip, he was still trying to get hot when his number got called. So fastball's going to elevate as it keeps going.
Counts 1-2. Illinois down to it. Phillips. That's going to get to the backstop on the move. Jonick over to third. Fans battle out the elements here on this Friday night. Rainy game 1. Tennessee in line here. Phillips on the 2-2. On the ground. Curley off the hop. The throw. It hops to Burke. He's got it. That's the ball game. Tennessee takes game 1 of this series, and they've won 13 straight.
Yeah, power pitching for Tennessee. 15